Hey guys, Alexei here with the REMAX Performance in Harrisonburg and Alcova Mortgage. And I actually ran into a very interesting scenario recently. So I had a client that is trying to see what they want to do with the house. And we sat down and talked and say, hey, we have about 50% to put down in the house. I'm like, wow, okay, that's great. But are you sure you want to do that? So let's break this down. Is it worth to put down 50% on the house or on the primary residence, or should you put 10% and invest the difference? Let's break it down really quick. So in this scenario, I'm going to be using $350,000 as a purchase price. We'll be looking at 30-year fixed rate mortgage. The interest rate is going to be 6.75%. That's kind of the average right now. Taxes 1%, about $3,500. Insurance 0.5%, about $1,750. It's probably lower in our area, but that's fine. And then we'll also have a primary mortgage insurance calculated in there, about a 0.35. And so two scenarios. One scenario, we're putting $35,000 down. Second scenario, we're putting $175,000 down. So in one scenario, 35, you invest 140 into the stock market or other investments. In the other scenario, you do the whole 175, and let's look at what your net worth looks like. So check this out. So if we're doing the first scenario, if we're doing, the second scenario where you're putting 50% down. When you're putting 50% down, your house is gonna grow about, if we're talking, kind of conservatively or moderate, where there's breakdown for conservative, moderate, and aggressive growth. I would say if we're looking at moderate growth, about 4% a year. It's usually anywhere from 3 to 5. Some people say 3 to 6. Let's look at 4% a year. So your projected home value after 5 years, because usually people live in a house anywhere from 5 to 7-ish, 7 to 10, depending on the market. But let's say 5 years. You only live in a house 5 years. Your equity should grow from 350 to about 425. Not your equity, the value of the house, from 350 to 425. So your loan balance is going to be 165. That's scenario number 2, and your calculated home equity should be about 260. Right? So we got the 260 number. And if you're doing 10% down, you're looking at same home value to 425, and you're having a loan balance of about 297, and then your calculated equity is 128. Interesting, right? Because that's a big difference. That's a difference of $140,000 that you didn't invest into it, right? Right. But what is the return on the investment? In the scenario number 1, you're putting down $35,000, and you're getting 128. So if we do the math, right? 128, you subtract 35 from that, and you're gonna get 120 93. Then you divide that 93 back by whatever you put into it, and you're getting 265%. In the scenario number 2, you're taking 260 minus 175, so that's 93, 95. And then you're dividing that by, or 85, sorry, 85, you're dividing that by 175, and you're getting a 50% return on investment. So first scenario, you're putting down 10%, you're getting a 200% return on investment. In the second scenario, you're getting a 50% return on investment. Now, let's see what happens when you're also, investing that money. right? So let's say you take the difference, 140K, and you put it into the stock market, right? At a moderate return, the stock market is usually showing about 8%, I would say, 8% return. So moderate growth on stocks on that 140K can be 272,000. So let's say you took that 140, you invested it over next 5-7 years, your money went up another almost 120K. So if we look at two scenarios, right? We have scenario A where we are doing 10%, scenario B. What is your net worth at the end of the day? So in moderate rate plus stocks, scenario A, your net worth is at 443. On scenario B, your net worth is only 300,000. So take that into consideration when you're thinking about putting down money, down on houses. Now, if let's say the difference is, hey, we can't pull this payment monthly on the 10%, increase that, of course. But the notion of, hey, let's pour all this money into a house that we're just going to be sitting on, I don't think it makes sense. If you're building and you're getting that equity, that's different. But if you're just trying to invest, I would highly recommend you looking into, putting down, leveraging as much money as possible from the bank without hurting yourself. Of course, monthly, you can't go underwater with it, but invest the difference. Again, this is not financial advice. I'm not licensed as a financial advisor. This is just doing some math together. And if this video was helpful, put a comment down below. If you disagree, put a comment down below. Let me know. I would love to chat about it. Again, this was Alexei with Remax Performance in Harrisonburg and Alcova Mortgage. And like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.